I about said good evening, but good afternoon, everybody. This is not Saturday Night Live because it's actually a Saturday afternoon interactive chat with Dan, of course, Dan Default from Wayne Manor North.
Yeah.
We were talking the other day. We were talking about how there were some topics that we wanted to kind of discuss with the community about something that happened recently with us, and also just wanted to do kind of an interactive hangout. So if you guys have questions or you want to have there's a topic that you want us to discuss, please feel free to do so down below. But Dan, how's it going today?
It's going awesome. Happy Saturday afternoon, everybody.
Happy Saturday afternoon. Hope everybody's doing great out there and enjoying your weekend. And again, it's kind of a weird time for us. We went a little live. This was when it was best for Dan. I think we have Dan for about an hour. So Dan, if you at any point need to leave, just say you got to go. Even if we're still going, just please feel free to head out if you need to. So
that's cool.
Yeah. I want to say hello to some folks real quick. We've got Josh Duckwall in the house. We've got Matt T, Haggis Muncher. We've got Vane21. Mike Stainbrook is saying hello to all of us. We've got Warren Dante. Dennis here. We're having a great weekend, Dan. Thank you. Let's see. We've also got Ben Hizzle in the house. Michael is saying hello to everybody. We got KohnHead Collectibles. Hey, at work, but made it. Thank you very much. We were hoping also this gave some chances, because I hear a lot of times like, oh, you always go live whenever I'm asleep, or it's like 4 a.m. where I am. So hopefully some more people will be able to watch and join us live this time. Ryan says this time is different and I like it. There we go. Thank you very much, Ryan. Lucas is here. Hello, Lucas. We've got Aaron. Edwin Diaz is here. Warren Dante is here. Hello. Benny Vogal is here. What's up, Dan and Chris? So that's that. Michael says, loving this time. So again, we might try to do some of these every once in a while and, give other people some opportunities to join us live. So again, this is just going to be kind of a hangout. And if you would like to chime in with some things that you'd like us to talk about, please let us know. Like Josh right here says, trying to find a good Batman statue to go with the Sideshow, Scarecrow, Catwoman, Bane, and Mr. Freeze. Any suggestions? Well, you have a few quarter scale options. You have the original quarter scale. You have the original quarter scale. You also have the newer modern version. I would imagine that Sideshow and other companies are going to continue to make quarter scale statues. Also, I'm sure there's going to be more from XM as well. I don't know, anything offhand that you can think of, Dan, that would pair really well? I mean, obviously I have the more modern Batman. I think it pairs well.
I had the, and I've since kind of thinned out my premium format line just to make room for some other things. But I had the modern blue variant Batman from Sideshow paired with the very statues that Josh is referring to, and he looked great.
Yeah, so, absolutely. That's a piece that's really bright blue, so it might not be for everybody. If you like that style of Batman. I'm trying to think too.
I think the black would work as well. You know what's funny? In the blue for me is kind of there's pros and cons to it. If given the choice, I'd probably go with the black version. Although I love the Hush blue. What I did with that premium format. If you like the blue somewhat, but don't want too much, I actually kind of turned the cape. The inside of the cape is black.
Oh. And
so I kind of turned the cape in a way that it wasn't overpowering. So you didn't see this big blue cape, turned it the other way, and it really looked great.
That's great advice. I never even thought of that, but that's a great point.
Yep.
For sure. Benjamin asked a similar question. Hey, Chris and Dan, working on my Arkham collection. I do have Scarecrow, Joker, and Batman. Any suggestions for any of the other Arkham statues? Well, I did own them all at one point, which is pretty crazy. I really liked Two-Face. He's harder to find. If you can find him, but Scarecrow and Two-Face were two of my favorites from that line. Freeze is awesome and Killer Croc is awesome if you have the room. And also, I don't feel like Killer Croc displays well if you have him lower. He has to be up higher. So I don't know if you're just looking for space. I think the original Harley Quinn's good. I think Catwoman was good, although her base is pretty good. I don't know. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I guess I would have the same advice. I mean, Freeze is a centerpiece type of piece. He's enormous, but super impressive. If you go in third scale, staying with that line, I highly recommend him. Like Chris, I recommend Two-Face as well. I had the EX in Two-Face, but that was only like a 350 EX or ES, I should say, ES on that one. But he's a great one as well. The Catwoman is really great, although her base is slightly larger, I think, than the others. She's got the 3 cat heads, right? Isn't it kind of a little bit larger footprint? But they all
big base.
I mean, with the exception of Freeze and Croc, the footprint's all pretty reasonable on those statues, given their size. I've got a few of them down here, and they're super reasonable.
That's one thing I do miss about having that line is because I had my whole row of them.
Yep.
And I would like to try to do something similar on the other side with my comic book pieces, but the bases are so so like where I used to be able to fit 4 per shelf, I can now fit maybe 3.
Yep. All very different.
So it's just crazy how different the base sizes are.
Yep.
Ryan says, I can't believe it's less than a week from the Batman movie. I'm super pumped. The soundtrack music. I cannot wait. I will be there day 1, which I'm really excited about. When are you going?
I'm going Tuesday night. Yep.
Okay. All right. So that's really cool. Maybe we should do a live reaction show right afterward. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll be a late show, but man, I really do want to do that. But it's hard to do reaction shows because you don't want to spoil it for.
Well, that's the thing, especially on night 1.
Yeah. So maybe we would wait a little bit, maybe. Tin Man says, hey, Chris and Dan, any news on Batman Rogues from Sideshow? Nothing right now.
No.
I do have a feeling that we will see some soon, just because Sideshow has really been like cranking out these reveals, which is, again, frustrating because I really wanted them at the 12 days. But now all of a sudden, boom, 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 we're getting all of these premium formats out of nowhere.
Exactly. So Vane 21's asking, why did I cancel the 0-year Batman on bike? Space, primarily. Vane had to make a choice, right? So I have decided to, I went heavier on Samurai, which I have continued to do. I have 3 pieces on PO for Samurai, and more news and info to come on that soon. And I also have decided to go all in on White Knight, which we know from XM, which will be 3 pieces, one of which is nearly 4 feet long. Just had to make room. And that one ended up, taking a bullet for the collection. So
absolutely.
Yep.
Katashi says, Weta or Iron Studios Nightmare Batfleck, thoughts?
That's a loaded question.
It really is tough because, like, to me, the Weta one blows the other one out of the water. But there's been some iffy results from what Weta is producing. Yep. So Iron Studios can be hit or miss at times. Like, I love my Iron Studios Joker, but there's some other ones that I just don't feel like are great. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm one of those, I had really good luck with Iron Studios. I can't in good conscience say anything really bad about them. I had, when I was collecting Marvel years back, I had a lot. I had 6 or 7 of their MCU pieces. The likenesses were great. The quality was great. I just didn't have any issues, knock on wood. So I thought they did a great job. I can say relative to the new Batfleck piece, the one thing that and we don't have close-ups yet of the Iron Studios piece, guys, which to me kind of, it's a little tough to compare right now, but I like the contrast in the color of the base versus Batman. The one thing about the Weta piece is the base and the Batman are the same kind of color palette, and I think it all just kind of blends together a bit, although I like the pose a bit better on the Weta, and because we've seen the portrait, I think it looks great. So, hey, Amilcar.
Yeah, Amilcar's in the house. Hello to you. Thank you for being here and joining us. Thank you. Benjamin says, hey, Chris, how's the Lego 89 Batmobile? It's still, they install it's still a part over in my
it's a sad bar area. A sad state of affairs.
Oh, man. Hey, Chris, what's your thought on Green Scar Hulk? I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
It's really, and they fixed the neck seam. So, I mean, it's a great sculpt, a great piece.
Yep.
We have a review on the channel if you haven't seen it. It's fantastic. It's a guest review, so that's awesome. Everybody's saying hello to Amakar. That's awesome. Love it. Saying, look at that. See, he knows what he's talking about. Boom. I love it. I love it. Price point on that Weta is high though, isn't it? Oh, yeah, it's over 1,000.
Yeah, so is Iron Studios.
So is Iron Studios. So it's like,
that to me, I mean, I know that there, the licensing on these pieces is different, across each line, but 1,025. I think about when I was buying the MCU line, and granted, I think the last MCU piece I bought was probably close to 3 years ago. I mean, those pieces were going for $800, $825, and they were the same format, scale, quality, detail. They look very similar to that, what we're seeing in that Batfleck piece. So 1,025, holy cow. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
And I didn't see the ES. Did they release an ES yet?
I don't think they have. I need to look that up before Rogues.
Because I bet it's going to be high.
It'll be high, yeah. Passion for Art says Chris for president. Oh man, no one needs that. We don't need that. We don't need that. Cricket Buddy says, curious how often do you guys clean, dust your collectibles?
How about not enough?
Not enough.
Yeah, probably. I probably go through my room every couple of weeks.
I think that's about what I do. Probably not as often as I should.
Yeah.
Luckily, in the back cave, it just doesn't produce a lot of dust in this room, which I'm really lucky. I mean, there's just not a ton, so I'm pretty lucky.
I've got 3 golden retrievers, and they generate a little bit of dust.
I bet, yeah, especially since you're on the main floor there.
Yeah.
Ryan says 1,200 for Weta, 1,025 for Iron Studios.
Yeah, so within spitting distance of each other.
Yeah. That is, Ahsoka versus Maul diorama is cool. I really like it.
It is. Me too.
It's really neat. Hello, Carlos. What's the price going for the OG Batman? Worth it? Are you talking about the Sideshow piece? You could probably. I mean, I think you can get it for, I don't know, $400 or $500 probably.
That the real OG piece?
Yeah, the real OG. I don't think
if you're interested in that piece, Natural Killer Cell, PM me. We'll work something out. I have one available.
I didn't realize you still had that. Do you have it on display or in a box?
I don't have it on display.
All right.
It just doesn't fit. And it's not because I don't like the statue. It's because I don't have anything that goes with it.
Right.
So, yeah. Maybe
that's what I need to do with half my collection, to just box it up until I figure it out. And then either of you getting the Heath Ledger life-size Joker?
Not bust. Oh, you mean the full?
The full size. I just don't love the Queen Studios one enough to say yes on that. If it was perfect, and it could use some work, and I know they did some work on it, and it's still not perfect to me. But I don't know. I mean, I can't ever imagine spending $11,000 or whatever it'd be. Just be insane.
Yeah, I just same.
Yeah, I mean, it would be awesome. I am spending $4,000 on a freaking bust.
On a half of Heath.
Yeah, on half of him. So, I mean, really, the full size body makes more sense. I mean, the torsos are a little odd. I mean, they are weird. They're not for everybody, for sure. Say hello to Eric. Is in the house. Hello to Eric.
B.
This is President equals White House full of statues. Hey, there we go. Now, I'd have a lot of room.
Yeah.
That'd be all right. So we're going to keep getting to your questions, guys. So keep them coming. I would love to answer more of them. But I did want to kind of segue into a story. I want to do story time here. Story time Saturday.
Story time.
So recently we have been discussing on the channel of some scammers. Okay. And this is one hell of a scammer story that Dan and I wanted to tell because it happened in real time. And Dan, as you know, actually I have her right up here.
Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah, right there. I've got a poison ivy, and Dan, obviously, he is collecting the samurai line, and that's one that has evaded him for quite some time. And he really wanted to find her, so we've put out in the Facebook groups, and I've said here on the channel, like, help Dan out, find him an ivy. And I don't know if you want to tell them that you have.
I have. So you guys are the first to learn this here on Batterday Afternoon Live. Ivy has been procured and is headed here to the study at Wayne Manor North.
That's awesome. Everybody give Dan a thumbs up in the chat. That's awesome. Yeah. Give him throw up some horns. Yeah. I love it. I love it. That's fantastic. But it's been a bumpy road, we shall say.
It has been it got to be a very bumpy road. I have been searching for her for a long time. There's a couple of lessons here. The minor lesson, boys and girls, is I had from a very reputable collector who I like, who's become a friend over the past few years, offered me one back in November, and wasn't great timing. I had just bought a few other statues. He gave me a fair price, although she is pricey by any measure.
Yeah.
Gave me a fair price, but it was still a lot at the time, and I just couldn't pull the trigger, right? So I didn't. Well, that was a huge ass mistake. Pardon me. So, big mistake, because it wasn't long after that I started looking again. Oh, this is so great, guys! Thanks so much for all of the congrats. I appreciate it. Started looking again, and wouldn't you know it, they are very, very few and far between. When I say she's hard to find, she is extraordinarily hard to find. And so there's a couple of parts. There's a happy ending, but before we get to the happy ending of the story, Chris and I, as he said, wanted to share with you where it got really rocky there at the end just last week. So
yeah. So we kind of wanted to walk you through. So Dan actually was not on our Rogues Gallery live show. I know you've watched it since.
I watched the replay the next day. Yeah.
But we talked about the fact that there have been scammers here lately, and even people like we would recommend saying like, okay, put your name on a piece of paper, hold it next to the statue with today's date on it. Well, then people were photoshopping those. People have suggested on the video I did, I actually I've been chopping some videos down to put them in easier watchable segments for the channel. And so I posted, I think it was yesterday, I posted the scammer video.
You did.
And so many people said, well, just add a watermark. Well, watermarks can be faked. I mean, like, any of that. So we recommended that you do a video chat, like that you either do a video chat or you do a video where the person is in it. Some people have responded yesterday, like, I would never, ever put my face on camera. I'm like, well, then I wouldn't buy from you.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. And I wouldn't recommend people buy from you. So it's like, if you're not willing to do that, and shy or not, I don't care. If you want to sell a $2,000 statue, you got to play the game. You have to, make people feel comfortable with that purchase.
Yep.
So I know Dan at the time, we were talking back and forth, whatever day that was last week. And we were, you had mentioned that, hey, I've got maybe like 2 or 3 possible options here.
Exactly.
One was going to be more of a pain with shipping. One was going to be, this or that. But so you were contacted by or you found somebody that was selling for what price?
So somebody reached out to me, a member of the buy-sell trade group, the BSC buy-sell trade group, a relatively new member, but a member nonetheless, reached out to me via private message and said, hey, Dan, understand you're looking for poison ivy. I have her available. If you're interested, 1,400 shipped.
Right. So I was at work and Dan messaged me and he said, okay, you're never going to believe this, but I found this ivy, $1,400 shipped.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm really excited for you, but I don't know. I just don't know. It seems kind of fishy to me because obviously she goes generally for 2,200 to 2,800 or up.
Yep.
I got mine 2,200 shipped.
Yep.
So I did well. And at the time, I remember even at the time that I was getting ivy, you weren't quite sure about paying that much. But since then, you've seen her, you were all in. So you get this offer. It sounds a little bit too good to be true.
Yeah. So
what did I tell you to do?
So I basically hadn't really started too much of a dialogue with him other than to say that, yep, I'm interested because I see that Ryan posted absolute scam at 14.
Yeah. Right, yeah. Boom.
Yeah. That.
But it gets better.
It gets better.
It gets better.
It gets better. So I said to Chris, I said, I know it sounds too good to be true, but I'm going to run this thing to ground and just see what the guy has to say. So I reach out to him, engage him, and he's responding in private message saying, yep, he's got the piece, et cetera, et cetera. And this is when I asked Chris, I said, are you at work? Because I need to FaceTime you, right?
Yeah.
So luckily Chris had just gotten there, wasn't busy. So we get on a FaceTime call. And the seller is messaging me real time.
Real time.
And so
So I'm on the computer screen just like this.
Yep.
And Dan's messaging him on his phone just like
I
this.
am typing away on my phone. Exactly. And telling Chris basically what's being said as we go. So the first thing I said to the guy was, he sent me pictures, which great. I said, I said, can you please send me a picture with my name and the date on it? Now, again, I understand. I know what the conversation was on Rogues Gallery Live last week saying we should go for video, but I said, let's start there. So within about 3 minutes, I got a picture with my name on a piece of paper that did not look like a poor Photoshop job. It looked real. It looked very real. So then I asked the guy where he was located. And he happens to be, or he told me anyways, that he was in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. So I said, well, that's great because I'm actually only about a 4.5 hour drive from you. I live in New Hampshire, just north of Boston. And I said, I'm very close. I said, maybe we could drive and meet up. And I kind of let that lie for a minute. But then so I went back to Chris and told him.
Actually, we hadn't even got to that point yet. Because before all that, before the travel part, you had gotten into contact with him and he mentioned about the box.
Yes. So that's a great point. So one of the things that he mentioned after sending me the picture of my name on a slip of paper with the date in front of the statue, I asked him about the boxes. I said, I assume he comes or she comes with the original art box, original brown shipper. And he said, well, unfortunately, no, I don't have those anymore. And then I told him, well, I'm really concerned about shipping her, extraordinarily delicate statue. I said, maybe then we could talk about a meetup. But I said, in the meantime, could you shoot me pics of the base of the statue? Because for those of you that aren't familiar with XM or the Samurai line, on the base of the statue, they have not only the edition number, but they have a serial number as well. And I said, if you can take a picture of that, I'd like to, ferret that out. Okay, no problem. I'll send you that in a few minutes. Well, I didn't quite see that. And in the meantime, I'm telling Chris what's going on. And then Chris suggests, as the guys had talked about in Rogues Gallery, ask him for a video chat. And so I said, okay, Chris, I'm going to go video chat this guy. So I asked the guy and he said yes. So he did a video chat with me.
So even though there was a red flag with the price, even though there was kind of a bit of a red flag with the no box.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He was still willing to do the video chat.
And so he did. And there it is. He's got the piece and the whole bit. So I started pressing him on the meetup. I said, I'm not comfortable shipping him because those red flags are all still there, right? Yep. There's no way I'm letting this guy ship me that in, a box full of packing peanuts or whatever. So I sent him very, without going into the details of where the meetup would be, I said, it's really easy. We each drive, just over 2 hours and, no problem. And, hey, Ned Pool is real. So I had pressed him on that. It wasn't responding. And so, I kind of let it lie. And then the next, I don't know, it was that night. Yes, that's true, Matt. Did a video chat.
Right. And see, that's why we thought if he said yes, but there wasn't actually a statue, they were like, okay, well then he's busted. So he was doing the right things. He actually did have an Ivy statue.
Yep. And I offered him, guys, just so you know, for the meetup, I said, I'll give you $100 more than your asking price to do the meetup. Now you're saving on shipping because you had said 1,400 ships. So you're saving probably a couple $100.
Easy.
And so you're making a net $300 probably on the deal extra. And that kind of quieted him. He sent me a note saying, I'm out right now. I'll text you back when I get home. And he didn't. And in the meantime, I got a note. Who did I get? One of the guys in the group, and his name's Daniel, and I'm sorry, I can't remember his last name, sent me a note with a picture of the scammer's profile. The scammer was called.
I think he sent it to me, didn't he? I think he sent it to me, and I forwarded it to you. I think.
He did. He sent it to you first.
Because he's like, he knew that you were looking for one, and he was like,
That's right.
I know Dan's been dealing with this guy.
Yep.
And so they sent me a screenshot.
That's right, a screenshot of the guy's profile, and so between him not contacting me, screenshot of the profile, scammer identified. So interesting and then turns out that there were others in the group that knew the guy was a scammer. this Annabelle Mike guy. But what's crazy about it is there's the guy on a video chat. There's my name and date on a slip of paper in front of it. There's the whole thing. What I said to Chris was, because we were trying to figure out, okay, what's the scam? My guess is he's looking for payment and he's not going to ship the statue. And then he evaporates, right? That profile evaporates, he goes away, and all of a sudden he's got my money.
Yeah. So. And even, you know, whenever we were going through the box stuff, I think that's whenever I said something about meeting up. I was like, maybe that would be a good option, because exactly. I didn't know where he was in Canada. Yeah. And so we even thought, okay, well, Dan was going to offer to pay a deposit.
Yep.
And say, and then because we were talking about that again in real time, we're like, you know, if he gets a deposit, then he can pay the rest of it whenever he actually shows up.
Yep.
Because again, you would think that you would be okay there, because he's going to want the rest of his money.
Exactly.
But if you pay $1,000 of a $2,000 statue, let's say you pay half, he's still going to walk away with $1,000. Going
to walk away with too much money,
and not ship it, and not. Now again, if you pay, that was another piece of the puzzle we forgot. He did not accept PayPal.
No PayPal.
So, you know, we were thinking, okay, well, you're covered if you pay goods and services, but he wouldn't take PayPal. That's right. Again, a little bit of a red flag, but not everybody likes PayPal. I get that. Yep. So I suggested to Dan, I said, I think with Venmo, I think you're covered. Yep. And so he did ask about Venmo, and he did say that his friend accepted Venmo. It or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So
just red flags all over the place.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, but I mean, at the time, like, we were so focused on trying to get the freaking statue, because again, this is something Dan really wants. So we were working real hard to get this thing. But again, just like little bumps in the road. It's like, it seemed like things were going to be okay. And then maybe not. So I don't know. Jeff Delaney's here, Secret Sanctuary. He's probably sold the same statue 5 times.
I think you're right,
Jeff. So it's just one hell of a story, because again, everything seemed like it would be okay, because he had the video chat. He was willing to do the video chat.
Yep.
So what have we learned from this? What have we learned from this experience?
So I think there's a couple of things, right? I think that scammers are more sophisticated perhaps than we give them credit for, right? So there's more than just basic scams. This guy has no problem getting on camera with the statue itself. And I mean, it's like a next level of boldness in doing this. Really?
Yeah. I love it.
So I think, that's definitely one. And then I think having, looking at the entire picture of the deal, there was no one aspect of the deal that made me say, oh, no, that's a scam, right? Especially with the video and the whole bit. There was no one piece that made me say, oh, yeah, that's a scam. But if you kind of look holistically at the deal, it clearly was. But it kind of unfolded one piece at a time. It's not like all the information at the same time. And so I think it's, what I took away from it, I won't, it was, I never really got close. I didn't pay the guy. I kind of pushed him until he finally cried uncle, basically, and stopped responding to me. And oh, by the way, the next morning after, Chris, you sent me the screenshot from our fellow member who identified him as a scammer, a known scammer. All of a sudden his profile was gone, literally gone. The whole profile on Facebook, not just in the group, his profile on Facebook gone. So we guessed right when we said he's just creating a profile, sell the statue, never ship it, create a new profile. So I think Jeff Delaney hit it right on the numbers. I think he's selling it over and over again.
Yeah. It's just crazy that people will go to those links.
Yep.
But
it's a lot of money.
It is the world we live in.
Yeah.
These are not $20 action figures we're talking about. I mean, we're talking about very expensive high-end art.
Yep.
And in a way, it's kind of like an art thief. I mean, really, that's what it feels like.
Yep.
Maybe that should be our new name instead of scammers. Maybe they should be art thieves.
Yeah, art thieves, exactly. Yeah.
But so we have offered advice on how to deal with these things. But even with the advice that we offer, they were still meeting most of those things.
Yep.
So
the only piece, Chris,
what advice do you have for people out there that just want to buy a freaking statue?
Yeah. The one piece we haven't talked about, and would have been, if he would have responded to me and talked about meeting up, right? And so say we cleared that hurdle and said, yep, I'm going to meet you there in this time. You know, either send me a very small or no deposit, right? The whole thing. The next step for me that I never had to do or got to the point to do was to ask for references, right? So I never kind of got to that step, but I would say that is absolutely critical, right? You don't buy from anybody unless they've got numerous references, not just one, numerous references, and references from people you know and respect in the community, right? So I think it has to be that. It just has to be that.
I feel like, I don't know, we were talking about it, I think on Rogues, that I wish that we could create a website or something with verified sellers.
I think it's a great idea.
With their photo.
Yep.
So they know what you look like. And then whenever you do a video, it needs to match that person.
Absolutely.
But I think we're just to that point. I don't feel like you can just blindly trust anymore, which is too bad.
Yep.
I know there's way more good people out there than scammers out there.
Yep.
But I don't know. I mean, all of these experiences over the last month, including myself, where I about got scammed, it's infuriating, but it's like, I don't trust anybody anymore. Like I just don't, you know? And so I really do want to, as a community, come together and build some sort of database, because like somebody said, was it KohnHead Collectibles? They said, I bought half my quarter scales from Dan.
Yep.
So I didn't have to worry about all that crap. Well, why didn't he have to worry about that crap? Because Dan is a known good seller.
Yep.
You know, and he's certainly not going to come on a live show and, do, like, oh, I'm a scammer, but it's like, at the same time, like whenever you can trust it, man, it makes the experience so much better.
Oh, it's just night and day, and like I said, I recently bought, I'm looking at I've got Catwoman over here. I bought the Samurai Catwoman from a seller I didn't know, right? It was, when you post want to buy in the group. I mean, look, our community on Facebook here at BSC is what, 6,100 members or something. Yep. And the buy sell trade group has a big, community. You're not going to know everybody. As much as we all spend a ton of time in here, we're not going to know everybody. Well, I ended up getting contacted by a seller that I didn't know. And one that is, international to the, at least from a US standpoint. He's in Costa Rica, didn't know him. And George Montoya is his name, and just ends up being a terrific guy. But I did reference checks on him. He offered references before I could even ask him, and there were references from people I knew in the community, and respected, their opinions and their references. He sent me in-depth, detailed video, and didn't want me to pay him until I received the statue. So, but there are green flags and there are red flags, right? But all the upfront, the reference pieces, the known seller pieces, those are what mattered. So I think, Chris, you're right. You guys, when you talked about it on Rogues last week, I think, some kind of I don't know, whether it's a database that's in the form of a Facebook group, a private Facebook group, that you have verified sellers, and maybe you have to, qualify to even view the group. I don't know how that would work, but some kind of mechanism like that, because it's a shame when you see people get taken advantage of.
Yeah, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing that. Again, this is again supposed to be a stress relieving, fun hobby. Yep. But now we're having to deal with all of this stuff.
So before we go too much further into just kind of into that area anymore, I just want to give a massive shout out. So guys, I ended up being contacted by a very known seller in the community. Just am absolutely grateful to him for finding one, tracking one down for me, and making it available, quite frankly. And so Todd Johnson at Spec Fiction, absolutely tremendous guy, huge friend to the community. Actually, I've seen a couple of buying questions just over the last 24 hours from people wondering if Spec Fiction is legit. Spec Fiction, Todd Johnson over there does a phenomenal job. Really goes the extra mile. I know I sound like a Spec Fiction infomercial, but this is not the first time that Todd has helped me out with a piece. And there are certain people in the community that do a great job, and Todd is definitely one of them. So a huge thank you. I don't know if Todd's in the chat right now, but he did me a huge solid with this piece, and I'm very appreciative. But just a great example of go with somebody you know and trust, and as Chris says, the stress just melts away.
You know, a lot of love for Todd. Todd does a phenomenal job. He's very well known and respected in the community. And he also offers a free car wash with every purchase. So that is good, according to Jeff. So there you go. Yeah, a lot of love there. That's awesome. Let's see. Sean just says, I had a seller back out on our poison ivy deal about 2 weeks ago, and that was incredibly deflating and frustrating. The search continues.
Oh, wow. Sorry.
It's like, I don't know if sometimes people panic and get cold feet, or if, you know, you can't work out the funds or whatever, but it's very frustrating when people back out. Even if you're a buyer, like if you're a buyer or a seller, like, you know, it can go both ways. So anyway, just.
Ryan, Dan, are you sending Todd a statue?
Oh, that's a good point, Dan.
I just might.
That would be funny. I forgot you said that. That's true. Yeah, Dan had said the other night that in our live unboxing that if whoever finds him one's going to get a free statue. That's pretty good.
Maybe Todd will choose to let us do it as a giveaway on the next Rogues.
That'd be awesome. That'd be really cool.
Otherwise, Todd's going to get a new statue.
That's right. This question's come up from a number of people. Dan Blaster asks, any tips for first-time sellers in the buy-sell trade groups, building references, etc.?
Yeah.
I think really just the first thing is be part of the group, establish yourself as somebody in the group, and then, you know, ask for references. Again, that's not 100% foolproof either.
Yep.
But if you ask for references, and, you know, some people have said, some people commented this week that, well, some scammers, they will post something and ask for references, and then all of the scammers that are friends with that person will say, yep, like trustworthy, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
So if you don't know any of those people
in
the community,
that's the key.
That's the key. You need to build your reputation, and exactly. You know, again, that's not always easy to do. And, you know, even a scammer could build up a reputation. So it's, again, so you have to like do all of these steps. And again, it's annoying. Before, you used to be able to say, hey, give me a reference. Hey, Dan's okay. I'm going to buy it. Hey, Dan, you have the statue, right? He's like, yep. Here, let me send you a photo of the statue. Here it is. Okay, I send you the money, and then I get the statue. It's not that way anymore.
Nope, not anymore.
It just doesn't work. So I just think you have to establish yourself in the community. You have to ask for references. You have to do the video chats. You have to pay with PayPal, goods and services. Now, if I'm buying something from Dan, I'm paying friends and family. Right. Because I know I can trust him. And I know that there's other people in the community that I can trust as well. But if I don't know you, or you don't know me, pay the extra 4% or whatever it is. It's going to be worth it to protect yourself.
For sure. Without a doubt.
And if, you know, and again, some people might not use PayPal, but like use something that you trust as a payment plan. Any other advice you would say that I missed?
Yeah, the thing that, you know, it's funny because up until just a couple of years ago, when I moved my Marvel pieces out, I hadn't, you know, that just gone wrong.
I was gonna say, somebody suggested we have like a swap meet every year or something, where people can like trust and trade their statues. Like I'm in. That'd be awesome.
Exactly. I was always nervous. You know, I hadn't sold really many until I sold those Marvel pieces, and I was always nervous that, you know, people were going to claim that the statue arrived broken or whatever to try and get me for, you know, some partial refund and all that crap. I, for the most part, will choose to only sell to people. Either they're very active in known quantities in the community, maybe not necessarily by me, but I can see that, you know, their level of participation in the community, or that they're known buyers, because I just, you know, it works both ways. I also don't want to, you know, sell to somebody who is going to take advantage of me as a seller either, you know, because that happens as well.
Michael just recommends BSC distribution. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
You can become a distributor. That'd be
a clearinghouse for just a small fee. Yeah.
I'm assuming this is a joke. I don't know. It says totally off topic, but who else is hyped for Justice League 2 that it was announced on HBO Max?
That has to be a joke, right?
It's got to be a joke, right? Let me know in the chat, because I have not heard anything about that, but that'd be pretty neat. Let's see. Whatnot app verifies every seller and holds the money until shipped. Just need another app like That's not an auction. Yeah. I've been asked about whatnot. I know like Jim uses whatnot and stuff. And I haven't really looked into it too much. I know some people like to do it. Like, maybe we'll do it for our live auction show one time. I don't know. I don't know as much about it, but it would be kind of neat to do something like that. That verifies the seller, verifies the people involved to protect yourself. That'd be great. Brad's on a tear today. I love it, and he's back to just Brad. He's not Batman Tube today. I like it.
It must be the root beer.
Yeah, I was going to say he's been chugging the root beer. 5 o'clock somewhere. I love it.
So, oh boy. Yeah. So I really don't want to get, out of respect for Todd, I really don't want to get into specific numbers, but I can tell you, if you're looking for an Ivy, and this is just not my own, just the transaction that I just did, but I'd say generally speaking, of the few sellers that I was talking to, you're looking at north of 2,600, 2,700 for Ivy, is what you're looking for. And you're looking at, and I think you're probably 1,500 to 1,700 for Catwoman at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sorry. I really don't want to go into the nuances of my deal, just like I said, out of respect for Todd. So
yeah, no worries. Dan says maybe you can pay an admin fee or some sort to be part of the buy sell trade group. Site to be a seller might help you know you're serious. Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Hey, it's funny, after everything that transpired last week, I'm a big fan of Very Gary Comics, his YouTube channel, and I was watching him with his whatnot auctions lately. I just have a blast watching those, and like you said, Jem uses them now too, and so I downloaded the app. I didn't even have the whatnot app. I just wanted to kind of see what it was all about. But there could be there's a possibility to potentially do something there that we maybe should look into. It might be a platform that we could use.
Well, like I said, I've looked into it a little bit. I would love for you to look into it a little bit more and see if you think it's something feasible that we could do.
Yeah.
Because I have heard good things, and it seems like a lot of people in the community are using it. Again, Jim Mint's fantastic. Barry Gary you mentioned, and there's a lot of other ones as well. I know they do their like Whatnot Wednesdays, so definitely something we can look into for sure. Because I know we would like to do an auction show here soon. I'm not sure on Rogues. I'm not 100% positive this week. I think we're going to have a special guest, but probably the show after that will be our next auction show. So
cool.
We'll see how that goes. Let's see. Does anybody know if anybody has a World War Hulk issue 4 graded CGC? I don't know if Jeff Delaney's still here, but he might know.
Yeah, right.
That's the guy to ask.
That rogue is not on screen.
Ahmed says, Chris, I have a lead on the original XM Samurai Batman statue, the one behind you. Do you know how wide it is in inches? Can you display it without the cape? Yes, you could. I don't know if you would want to, but yeah, you could display it without the cape, I think, right, Dan?
Yeah, let me get you a width. I got a tape measure right here.
Yeah, because the cape just goes on the back of him. There might be some open key spots.
Yeah, you can display him without the cape, although I think his cape is one of his best features.
I do too. I mean, it just adds so much flow to him.
He's between 12 and 13 inches wide.
Okay.
If you're looking at him head on.
Okay. So hopefully that helps, Ahmed. Thank you. Let's see. KohnHead Collectibles says it's a great app. I've been buying off it for a while. So again, cool. That's good to know that. Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, for those watching, I know Chris, you mentioned KohnHead Collectibles earlier. Great buyer, great seller. Highly recommend him. Great guy, great member of the community, and has a new YouTube channel, or one that he's just getting back into. I recommend his videos.
Absolutely. So check him out if you would. That would be awesome. AJ, we did talk about pirate ship. I've actually, like I did with the scammer video, I've cut the pirate ship section down also, and that'll be going up. I think tomorrow. And Dan, I keep pushing yours back. I do apologize. I think yours is either going to go up tomorrow or Monday. I can't remember now. I get so backlogged with the video. So Dan's got his how-to video that we'll be putting up as well. But I will have a shorter pirate ship update for that as well. Let's see. Always ask dealers or retailers if they can acquire a piece. I've got a dealer currently seeking out an Arkham Catwoman. Yeah, there are retailers, your local retailers that might be able to help you out. So that way they're the middleman instead of you having to be, dealing with these people directly.
They're going to probably ask for a fairly sizable chunk, though. That's going to be expensive for you.
That's the problem, is you're going to end up paying more. Although if you lose money on a scam, you're going to lose the money anyway. So, so I guess, is it bad to ask buyers to pay the shipping and the fees? No. I mean, it's standard. You pay. I mean, you can already include the shipping price in the sale.
Yep.
But usually it's like, okay, I'm going to pay $1,200 plus shipping. Or again, you pay the fee. Some sellers might be willing to split the fee with you or something.
Yep.
I mean, that would be all right.
Which I've done, by the way, guys. That's something that, depending on the size of the transaction and so forth, and, you have the right buyer for your piece, and, it's worth it to you. I've done it. Split the difference. Shipping's expensive right now.
It is.
Hey,
Benjamin Gonzalez says, Dan, do you have a YouTube channel? I know this gets asked a lot, but he does not currently have a YouTube channel. He is BSC through and through, so I appreciate that very much. And we're just so lucky to have him here on our channel.
Oh, no, I enjoyed a great deal. No, I love being part of the BSC channel, but I appreciate that, Benjamin. I'll take that as a compliment, so thanks.
It's awesome. Dylan says, I've only bought one statue pre-owned on the secondary market, which was eBay. It was the second Red Sonja statue. Oh, that's a great piece.
That's an awesome piece.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful piece. Thankfully, it went smoothly. And I think with eBay, you're protected. The big problem with eBay generally is that there's so many fees that as a seller, you have to pay. And so what do? You're not going to eat those fees. You're going to mark the price up. And that's why and there are people out there that will take, it's $1,000 statue and they'll ask $8,000 for it. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But if you see that it's more expensive than like the buy, sell, trade groups, that's because they're taking such a giant fee out.
Exactly. Yeah. 14% typically, guys, just so you know. It's insane.
Michael says, I ate the cost of shipping just to let somebody else enjoy the pieces. Well, that's fantastic.
There you go. Yep.
I mean, I view it like this. There are some pieces where I want to get my money back.
Yep.
There's some pieces that, because of fair market value, the price has gone up a bit. So it's like, okay, that's great.
Yep.
But at the same time, too, it's like you have to understand sometimes that, okay, this is a used statue.
Yeah.
This, and so if you lose a little bit or you still enjoyed it, you still spent that money to enjoy it while you had it.
Yep.
And if you lose a little bit or you help pay for shipping, like I think that's okay.
Yep.
Brad is asking, is it okay sellers to include a snack after I'm done with my unboxing? I'm just hungry and need a nosh. Hey, I hear that.
Hey, every one of my statues comes with a Kit Kat. So for those of you looking, there you go.
And sometimes a drawing, like a drawing.
That is actually the truth. I send drawings with mine. Yes.
Yes, you do. Let's see. Ben Hissel says, a relatively small local comic shop in my area started a comic convention several years ago, and it's grown into a huge, very successful con. That's awesome. Our town has 50,000 people. We have a yearly comic book Comic-Con. I went the first year. I haven't been since. I think it's like the 5th year, because the first year it was literally like one row, and it took. I paid like $35, and it took me 5 minutes to go through it. So I haven't gone back since. I probably should do like a BSC booth, but it's so small that I don't think anybody around here is going to be buying very many statues. But
it's an interesting thing about the statue community and the community that we have here, and that many of us are engaged in every day. My local comic shop, been around for a long time. I've spoken to the owner many times, and he has a massive inventory of books. It's just a cool LCS, and he carries actually a ton of statues, a lot of DC collectibles kind of stuff, a lot of smaller stuff. But I asked him about, this is a few years ago now, about consignment, and he's like, the people that come through the door, he goes, they just don't buy the high end pieces.
Yeah. So. I mean, he's bought, paid, and signed and delivered. So yeah.
He told my piece to the fire.
But anyway, like I noticed that too. Like you go in and there's like a lot of like vinyl things, or like diamond select type things, and like at that price point, because it's like the average collector isn't going to spend $1,000 walking into a comic book shop.
Yeah,
you're going to sell some occasionally, That's the problem. Is like, there's just not that big of a market for the average buyer.
Not for the average buyer. In this particular shop, when you walk in the door, on your right, there's it's like a Coke machine, and on top of the Coke machine is a Prime One. I want to say Harley Quinn, Prime One Harley Quinn Arkham line, right? It has been there for 4 years, and now he can't budge on the price because I'm sure he's too deep into it, but
Sure.
and he's not willing to write it off yet. But he's got her for like $1,100 or something, and.
The thing is, though, I see that, but at the same time, like he got it for a discount.
I'm sure
he most likely got it at retail. I mean, not at retail, but
wholesale. Yeah.
Wholesale.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think if I wouldn't want something to sit there for 4 years.
Not 4 years, but you have to think, God, did he get a decent offer in 4 years?
Yeah.
But I mean, I offered him 3 years ago. But I offered him $900 and he wouldn't take it.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yep.
And that was retail.
3 years ago. That was retail. I offered him retail.
That's retail.
Into it.
He'd still make money on
it. And he still has it to this day.
Crazy. Maybe he just really loves it.
Maybe he just loves it, but it's in the box. It's not even displayed.
So I remember, that's crazy. Yeah. I remember when Ashley got the Batman Who Laughs.
Yep.
I remember I was at a baseball game and she texted me because she's like, she was freaking out and, worried. And the guy didn't really want to sell it. I mean, it's like, I think you might get that sometimes, or like,
yeah,
because it's like, it looks cool in the shop and it's like, it brings people in. It's kind of like at Disney, they're called weenies. It's like the castle is called a weenie, or the tree at Animal Kingdom is called a weenie. Okay. It's because it's like that's what draws you in. And I don't know why they came up with that name, but that's what they're called. And I think some stores use those, like they use those things to draw people in. Yeah.
See that.
Amakar says all these are very useful for somebody who's planning to have his own collecting brand in the future. Wow, that might be some breaking news right there. That's exciting.
Bring it on.
KohnHead Collectible says, so is Red Hood making his way to the cave? Well, I do have some room down here, my little slots here, so we'll see. I think he'll fit there just fine. I know he's coming to Dan's.
He is definitely coming to mine, as is Scarecrow. Uh-oh. Oh, Chris, we have the frozen moment of the day. Who had bets on how deep are we in on 54 minutes in? Somebody had to have 54 minutes. We need to have a pool on at what point in each show does Chris freeze up. So I'm convinced it is I think it's Ledger, his son, actually getting on PlayStation and sucking up all the bandwidth. So
should have taken my own damn bet.
Oh, there.
Good Lord. 54 minutes in, huh?
54 minutes in.
Should have put it in. Darn it. We were doing so well, too.
I know, right?
I start talking about Talon, and then all of a sudden, boom, we freeze.
Yep.
I wanted to highlight this because a number of people have said about Talon, and who the hell knows about Talon? Like, they recently, I can't remember what piece it was that they recently just announced in ES, and it hadn't been out that long. But I'm like, come on with this Talon. Like, I that is the piece I think I want more than any of them at this point.
Yep.
Like more than the Joker versus Batman. Like, I really want this piece. And I'm so worried because they still have not put an ES on it.
I think Prime One's got several pieces like that. Matter of fact, somebody asked, and I apologize, I don't recall who it was, early in the show asked about the 0 year Batman on bike.
Yeah.
Just for
the Kit Kat. There you go.
It's a king size Kit Kat.
Oh, the king size.
Yeah.
Are you the guy at like Halloween that gives the full size candy bars?
My wife is.
Nice. There you go. Full size Kit Kat. Nothing but the best for you collectors out there.
Nothing but the best. But somebody asked about 0 year Batman on bike, and I am convinced that that's one of those statues. Has anybody seen anything about that statue? Nothing.
And I'm Joe Latore. I think I've mentioned this before, but Joe reached out to me and he's going to send me that to review.
Really?
And he sent me that email like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And then we just keep talking back and forth, and it's just like, because I bought like a lot of these from him.
Yeah.
Including that Joker, which I reviewed twice from him. So I was really excited about that because I'm like, that's a piece I really would like to see in person because I really do love that piece. It's really great. I don't know where it'd fit in my collection.
Yeah.
And it's such a one-off because it's sort of quarter scale, whatever.
Yeah. Scale is questionable. Absolutely.
Scale is questionable. And so, but yeah, that's another piece. Like what, I mean, and again, we could blame COVID, we can blame the pandemic, we can blame shipping and all the other things that go into it. That's fine. But there are other companies that are able to get these out a hell of a lot faster. There are some people have accused Prime One of just hoarding the money, and then
I don't want to go publicly a step that far. But
yeah, and I don't either. But that's just what I hear.
Question, they're begging the question, so it's because you have to wonder.
You do. Cricket Buddy says, "Thank you for your White Knight Bat Cycle unboxing. That was so awesome. Right after,
sorry.
That's awesome. I pre-ordered it right away. That's fantastic. I'm really glad to hear that.
That's cool.
Have you heard back from our contact yet? Nothing. Okay.
No.
I need to get back with that person there. Brad says, "Oh my God, I think I know that Coke machine." Is it red?
Red. No, it's the lime green one, Brad.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Nelson says Chris wasn't frozen. He was just doing his mime statue bit. Is that
mime statue?
Yeah. Let's see. I know I'm kind of jumping around here a little bit.
This is good. A lot of good questions today. This is great.
Yeah, really good questions. This is awesome. Matt T says, "I'm wondering why Prime One does this during 2022 thing." I think it's because they really don't have any idea when it's coming.
Yeah.
I've noticed something. So I haven't announced this yet, but I bought Joker Say Cheese this week. I had a lot of points. I bought it from Sideshow.
Yep.
And I had like $800 worth of points. So I'm like, why the hell not? I've been him and hawing about it. And it says like, what is it? December of 23 to like September of 23 or something like that. Like it's like almost the entire year.
Huh.
Or maybe it was December of 22 to September of 23. I can't remember. But it was like, it used to be like a couple months. Like, you'd have like December to March or something like that. But now it's like 8 or 9 months of the year. So I just don't know if they just, because if they say when it's supposed to come out, then they can lose their deposits. Although I think that Prime One's really good about giving deposits back if you order from them.
They are. But, if I'm going to get real conspiracy theory-ish, you could say, I know for a fact, for example, that companies that offer rebates count on the fact that you're not going to submit for your rebate, right? They factor in a rebate redemption is somewhere less than 30%. And there is a whole marketplace. There's a whole chunk of the state of Minnesota that is like the rebate capital of the world. That's where rebates are managed. Same kind of thing, right? They count on a certain number, a certain percentage, a large percentage, not redeeming it. I think statues, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a similar thing. It's probably not that same low percentage, but I bet a lot of people just kind of pay the deposit, kind of forget about it. And, time moves on. And, if they got 50 people and 100 people POing Talon for $100, 10 grand. It's just, so anyway, that's real conspiracy theory-ish. I don't want to say that they're doing that. I don't.
Yeah.
I would hope to think they're not, but if they're not, it kind of means I think that it's not exactly the most stellar operational, business I've ever seen. Well,
Michael's saying Prime One's reputation is starting to slip a little bit, and I think the problem is, and I have been a giant Prime One supporter. They are still one of my favorite companies out there. I cannot wait for their future products.
Yeah.
But what I feel like, and I said this long ago, I feel like they are biting off more than they can chew.
Yep. For sure.
They took on a tremendous amount of license. They used to be very consistent. Whenever things were coming out, they were on time.
Yep.
The paint applications were fantastic. I'm looking at my Batman Who Laughs. I'm looking at my Poison Ivy. There's so many amazing statues that they put out, but they're doing so many lines. And I think that's obviously, there's only so many factories to go around and many painters to go around. And so you can't take, I know if a company's throwing money at you to say, hey, we want you to make our products. That's hard to say. Nope, no
Absolutely.
thanks. You can't turn it down.
That's right.
But at the same time, you either have to expand your operation, and I don't know how much they have. I mean, maybe they have, and I just don't know. But I just think they really have bitten off more than they can chew.
And they also don't really love to communicate with their community, so that makes it difficult too.
Well, it just makes it. I don't know. You just never know where you stand.
That's right. Exactly. Yep.
Whereas other companies, and I know that Prime One is, that's just they say that's just their culture. That's just the way they are as a company.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But there's been other companies like Queen or XM specifically that have been on the forefront of saying, okay, we hear you. We're going to change this. Here's our update. Here's the new shipping dates. Here's this. Here's that. That is very comforting to collectors.
That's right.
For
sure.
Because again, we're the ones spending this money.
Yeah.
And also I just feel like it gives it makes my heart grow a little bit for those companies.
Yeah.
It's like I want to be loyal to those companies because look what they're doing for us.
Yep.
It's like, they're at the end of the day, they're for profit business. And, but without us, they're not selling these things.
That's right.
And I think that's just really important to acknowledge.
Hey, Chris, I'm going to roll here. Unfortunately, I've got to head out, but I've got one last question. I just happened to see pop up. Josh Duckwall asked, he says he's sure that he's missed me talk about it many times. So what kind of shelving do I have behind me over my right shoulder here? And that is custom shelving, Josh. So I actually built those. There's a how-to video. If you go to the how-to playlist on BSC YouTube channel, there's a how-to on how to put these together. I went through step by step. They support as much weight basically as you want to. I stood on it and, I'm 185 pounds or so. So check it out. They're great shelves, super flexible.
I'm to a point where I'm thinking I'm just going to gut everything I have and just build your damn shelves.
There you go. Now we're talking.
They work, they're functional, they look cool.
And you can change them.
Yeah,
there's these pipes. You can change the height of these pipes, put a different height pipe in. And like I said, they hold as much weight as you want. Those 3 statues are on there, and that's not flexing even a millimeter. So
it's awesome.
Anyways, but I got to roll, guys. It was awesome talking to everybody. Chris, thanks for having me on as always.
Absolutely. Good luck with your information that we talked about this weekend. So let me know in their chat, and then also hopefully we'll see you on Wednesday for Rogues.
I will be there.
Okay.
See you, everybody.
See you. Have a great weekend. All right, guys, we'll go a little bit longer if you want to hang out with me a little bit longer. Michael said, didn't that Harley take? Yeah, it's been 3.5 years. I still don't have her. It still says shipping January of 2023 or 2022. God, if it's January of 23, I'm in trouble. But I did contact Sideshow here this week because some people have already been getting it. I got the deluxe, but they still don't know. Shipping in batches, I'm assuming. Yeah, Punchline, man, I cannot wait for Punchline. That is one I'm really excited about. Haven't ordered her yet. I need to though. I keep hoping that Prime One will offer like a combo deal with her and the Joker, but I don't know if they will or not. What's the shipping timeliness of Prime One pieces ordered directly from them? So if you order direct from Prime One, you can pay 2 different kinds of shipping. If you pay the fast shipping, it's going to get to you in a couple of weeks when they're ready to ship. Otherwise, it's about a 2 to 3 month process on a slow boat. That same slow boat is the same one I think that gets to Sideshow eventually. So I think that they usually get to Sideshow about the same time. You might get it a week or 2 earlier, but I think it usually hits about the same time. Chris, I was waiting to get a backdrop for my statue displays. How did you get that done with the print shop? A few of the print shops around here can print that large, have concerns about copyright. I don't know. I just asked. I knew the guy working there. And, I taught with his wife, and he just did it. I'm not using it for commercial use or anything like that. I was using it for just my collection. And there was no questions asked. So I live in a small town, so it's probably, it was just no big deal. Edwin reporting for duty. I love it. Casual nerd problems. Waiting that long. It's way too long for me. I mean, that's the thing is the problem with waiting is that you have excitement. You have excitement built up for these things. And then if it takes 3 years, a lot of times you're like, man, I don't really even care about that statue. Maybe it was a movie statue. Like, I think of some people have made the comments right now of the Peacemaker, John Cena statue. Like, I think that looks awesome. I love Peacemaker. I was like, maybe I should even consider getting that statue, but am I going to want it 3 years from now when it actually comes out? Probably not. Who knows? Still feel burned by the Arkham. Me too. I sold my entire Arkham collection based on that decision. Because that's the piece I needed. I needed Ivy. And once they canceled her, I'm like, okay, now I'm just going to focus on comics. Because that's obviously where they would go. I mean, they were more concerned about comic pieces. So, I don't know. Let's see. Board Cube 1 of 2. I think that's what Exa was hoping for. I mean, they're smart. I mean, sending it to people like us they'll show it off. I think it's smart. And so I hope they did, because it's a phenomenal piece. I hope they sold a crap ton of them. And again, I want to add it if I can figure out where to put it. Once I figure out my collection, I'm still figuring out my display. It would be interesting if a statue company came out with an edit like if the statue's run is not produced within 2 years, then you can get your deposit back without penalty. That'd be neat. They'll never do that, but that'd be neat. Yeah, I mean, that's just the thing it's all about timeliness, and it's all about that. Again, like the timing with the world events, everything is going to be affected. Everything going on this week right now is going to affect everything else. Everything. I mean, it's just one thing after the other. If we can get things sort of back to normal, maybe things will be quicker, but I think we're in for a long haul with everything we buy. Yeah, PCS listens. They're a great company as well. Again, like if just communication is massive in our community. If we can hear from these companies, I think it makes a giant difference. And not just in like a polished, highly produced video or something. Like, I mean, just actual people in the community talking to us, statue collecting owners. I think of Sang, or I think of Chad from Tweeterhead. Like those guys, and Adams, like those guys are fantastic. Yeah, Queen Studios communication has been phenomenal. John is great. He acts as their spokesman, so that's really great. Hey, Mike, thanks for joining us. Let's see. Just got my Joker paid off. That's awesome. Congratulations. Jeff Morris in the house. Hey, Jeff, I'm hoping Sideshow will make a Joker PF like the new art print they got. I would love that. I think that would be a brilliant Joker. I love the pose. It would be a low profile base. It's creepy. I think that's what we need. We need another creepy Joker. Kind of a quarter scale version of the Bermejo-ish. But yeah, Jeff, you're right on the money. Paid off my deluxe Tweeterhead Joker on Throne yesterday. That's awesome. Should be this year. Should be. Michael says XM is onto something, sneaking a pic of the statue as it goes into production. Yeah. I mean, XM is brilliant. They literally had things already in production, knowing that a certain number of people will buy it. I don't know exactly how that works logistically, but their turnaround time was phenomenal. The paint problem screwed them over a little bit with that one, but crazy. Yeah, people agreeing with Jeff. I never understood non-refundable deposits. If I want something that has a NRD, that's okay. But if I change my mind, the statue comes out, I want my freaking money back. And that's just the thing. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Some companies will give it back, though. Let's see. Justin, afternoon. Just got home from the Great Lakes Comic Convention with my son. That's awesome. That's really cool. That's awesome. I'll be hopefully going to Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City here soon, covering that event for you guys, if it all works out. So can't wait to get to a convention again. It's been a while. Congratulations. That's awesome. Hey, thank you very much. Kevin Chan, 199 super chat, or Kev Chan, sorry. What are your thoughts on Detective Comics 1000 statue? Well, I purchased it, or I pre-ordered it. I've been debating whether to cancel it because I am getting the Fabok Batman versus Joker diorama, but I did just order Say Cheese. So I kind of am thinking of potentially about a display to put Batman versus Joker in the middle, Fabok on one side, and then Fabok Joker on the other. Although the Fabok Joker could also be Hush as well, which I'll probably more likely make it a Hush Joker. So I don't know, but I really still like that statue. There is some concern about the depth of the cape. Also, the height of the cape can block things behind it. So I'd originally planned on putting it like right here, but it's going to block, the characters behind him. So I really still like that statue. I think I really like him more looking down. So I think you'd be okay with the regular. I did order the deluxe. So anyway, I think it's awesome. Talon was with Katana and the Drowned and Crime One Purgatory. They really are, John. Again, I'm really hoping that we see those. It's going to piss a lot of people off if they don't deliver. Sean says, excellent interview with Wanda. Any idea when the next Prime One event? Oh yeah. So thank you very much. When I do interviews on the channel, they don't do very well view wise. But I love to bring that content to you guys because it's important to bring the artists who make this art for us. And again, some people just show me the damn statues, but I do really like to bring those videos to you guys. And Wanda was fantastic. Wanda, if you haven't checked it out, please check out today's video. It is, Wanda Kharon, and he is the lead character artist of Prime One. He did Punchline, he did Arkham City Ivy, he did Batman Hush, he's fantastic, and he won Artist of the Year for the Batsies. So that was really cool. And getting back to your other part of your question, the Prime One event, I believe, will be. Sorry about that. I believe it will be this spring. We better see a damn penguin. It's been like 3 events ago. I hope you've seen my pictures of the Tweeterhead Superman I posted on your Facebook group. I go by Sirius. Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because so many people use different names here than there, so I never know who's who. But yeah, Sirius, absolutely. It's such a perfect Superman statue, and I want the Batman to be announced. I think we'll see Batman soon. I've been talking to Chad at Tweeterhead, and I think we will see some new reveals here real soon. Anybody else? Yes, love that interview. Didn't realize Wanda was so much. What I got? Yeah, Wanda did so much. Yeah, he's fantastic. He's an a phenomenal artist. We had Almakar here earlier, and he's a phenomenal artist. Like, it's just, to me, they are such an important, integral part of the community. I want you guys to get to know them. I want you to, like Ben Hissel says, you got to give them props. I mean, they bring this art to life for us. Yes, we pay our money for it, but without them, we wouldn't have these statues. So I really appreciate their talent and what they give back to the community as well. So a lot of love to all the amazing sculptors out there. So I'll go a few more minutes here and see if we get any more questions before I head out. I've got some work to do in the cave. I've been editing all day. I've got a new top 10 video for you guys coming out here soon. So excited about that. Yeah, exactly, Michael. I agree 100%. I will just plug some things this week. We have a Rogues Gallery on Wednesday, potentially with a very special guest. We'll see. Otherwise, we've got lots of photos and everything else to look at, and whatever comes up in the meantime, we'll talk about. So let's see. Oh, Ryan says estimated time on the secret project. So the secret project's over there, and the secret project step number 1 is completed. The lights are completed. So that's exciting. But some of the other areas are not quite finished yet. I'm trying to debate. I don't know if I'll reveal it all at once or if I'll do it in parts as I build it. So giving you guys some hints. But I'm trying to make kind of a set for you guys and for the channel. So We'll see how that goes. Dylan, oops, sorry, Dylan. Dylan says, I love the interviews. It's nice seeing the person behind the art. Thank you very much, Dylan. I appreciate that. Kevin, supposedly it's supposed to be the deluxe Harley Quinn from Prime 1. That's supposedly the next piece. But we shall see. She was supposed to ship in January, so I don't know. Casual Nerd Problem says, Cash to Gemini has some cool interviews with artists, collectors, if anybody's interested. Yeah, absolutely. Cash is doing a fantastic job connecting with members of the community. I absolutely love that. He's, I love to interact, but he's like taking it one step further, and I just really appreciate what he's doing. And it's something different too. So it's, offers some nice variety here on YouTube. So definitely check out Cash to Gemini. Thank you very much. $2 super chat. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Again, super chats go right back into the channel, guys. So thank you very much. Jay says, what is the best Joker in your opinion, Chris? In terms of comic Jokers, I don't know. Right now, I still think this is one of the best ones. The Lee Bermejo Prime 1. I still love my original Sideshow Joker. I don't love the fabric on it, but the head sculpt's phenomenal. Those are the ones that really stick out to me, but I don't know. I really like that Say Cheese. Again, I did just order the Say Cheese. But if I'm going to say best, I'm probably going to say this one right here. Still tough though. And again, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. AJ says, if J&D did a Dark Knight Gordon and Alfred, would you get them? And you getting the Bruce Wayne Batman combo? No, I'm not getting that. Movie pieces. I'm struggling with movie pieces. My wife did give me a little bit of clearance to use some space in the other collection room. To kind of build a set to do a backdrop for my videos. I could see me making that a movie set, like a movie area. And that would give me a little bit more room to work with things. So I don't know. It's possible I would, if the sculpts are good. J&D I like, but their prices are really expensive. So some people have said, you can get like 4 other statues for the price of one of theirs. It's just a balance. I would love to see an Alfred. I would love to see a Gordon, but I think I would rather see them in comic book form than movie form. It would be nice if artists started to sign the base. Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be awesome. I can't wait to see what's new with your website. I'm not sure. Do you mean this site? I mean this page here. I'm not sure. Moji cases, maybe. I would love that, but I like the more open look. How much is that Ivy Hush line statue going for? I really don't know. Probably $1,600-$1,700 ish, somewhere in there, maybe. I'm not sure. With the new XM Catwoman reveal, is there any character with a true variety of statue look than her? I mean, she's fantastic. Not everybody's a fan of the purple, but the purple does separate her out. The purple does give people a different option for her. And I love the idea of her on the base. That was brilliant on XM's part. John, I'm gonna get in real close here. John, never too many Batman. Now there is sometimes it can be overwhelming, but never too many. Brian, congratulations. That is fantastic. Yeah, I would love to see him in as Harley Quinn as well. But let's be honest, it'll come out in 2027. Right? Yeah. Oh, here's a $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Board Cube 1 of 2, a Brotherhood member, Canadian, $5. The positivity of this channel has been great. Thanks. And keep Dan on contract. Yeah, we're keeping Dan on contract for sure. Dan is just, he's just been such a big part of this channel, and he's become such a good friend to me. So again, much love to Dan. And again, I'm here on camera, but it's you guys. You guys are the ones that are positive. I hope to reflect that in my commentary, but it just goes to show you how many good people there are in this world, and how many good people are supportive of each other. And again, the positivity in the community is what it's all about. So thank you very much for the super chat. Again, that's awesome. Thank you guys. I am Paula. I'll be there on Tuesday. Thank you very much. That art print, it's Gabriel D'Auto. Really great. I have it behind the samurai. I wish it was kind of a samurai looking, but I do think it works back there. So we'll see. I wish they were wider. I wish they were wider teeth. But yeah, they are. I do go to the dentist 4 times a year, so hopefully they're fairly white and clean. But anyway. All right. Well, let's ask a couple more questions. Answer a couple more questions. I don't know if he asked, but any update on Prime One's next showcase? Yeah, I think that spring is what I've heard. Spring. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, Paula. Is like, we really want to do a reaction show. So, because Dan and I are seeing it the same night, so that'd be pretty neat to do a reaction show. Or Mrs. BSC is going as well, so it'd be really cool if we could do a reaction. The BSC store, I was thinking you was doing something with that, but maybe I was thinking something else. I do have Brotherhood of the Bat Collectibles on Facebook. I might create some sort of store. Basically, that's a store with Sideshow products or other products on there. We'll see. Right now I'm an affiliate of Sideshow, so I don't know exactly what I'll do in the future with that, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Just started watching the live stream now. Oh no, getting ready to sign off, so I apologize. Don't know if you answered it yet, Chris. Are you going to pick up the Prime 1 Punchline and Joker? Yes, I am. I'm hoping that Prime 1 will create like a combo where they offer a discount if you get them both. They've done that in the past. But I don't know why they didn't put Joker up yet. I think that's really strange, but I will be getting them both. I think they're both phenomenal. And definitely one of the best. We talked about Joker earlier, one of the best on the market, but he's not out yet. So very, very cool. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about this film. I'm incredibly excited about it. I was excited about it from day one. I know not everybody was excited about the casting, but I think the cast is going to be phenomenal. I can't wait. And I've heard, again, nothing but good things. Casual Nerd Problems. Prediction on the next Rogues Gallery villain from Sideshow. Man. If I'm going to predict one, I'm going to predict Riddler, Two-Face, Penguin, that are new villains. Now, I'm sure Sideshow will do 15 more Catwoman and 50 more Harleys first. But I think we'll see one of those 3 from Sideshow. And I think we'll see all of them from Tweeterhead. I think Tweeterhead's going to do them all. If we buy them, I think Tweeterhead's going to do them. With that big announcement at quarter scale, I think that they're going to do characters that Sideshow won't, or Sideshow might not be interested in at the moment. So I think Tweeterhead's where it's at, guys. Tweeterhead's where it's going to be at. They are still doing statues, Paula, but just at a much, much slower rate. Michael says, all the rogues are fantastic. Oh, thank you. Eric, Jeff M, Jeff D, and of course, Dan D. I like the variety of personalities. This community is awesome, helping each other with scammers. And hey, thank you very much, Michael. That's awesome. Thank you for saying that. That's what I'm hoping. I mean, that's what I want from this channel is I want it to be helpful. I want it to be a safe, good place for people to hang out. And so I really do appreciate that very much. I love hearing feedback like that. Again, whenever I first started this channel, it wasn't my intent to create and to do all this with the community, but thank God, because it's like the best part of the community by far. I love it. I love it. I love being part of this with you guys. Paula says, Tweeterhead, I love you. There you go. Chris, are you going to get the full-size Joker? Just, I mean, right now I'm getting the life-size bust of Heath Ledger Joker. That'll probably be the extent of it. Great stream. Hope everybody is, or have a good one, everyone. Thank you very much, Casual Nerd Problems. With that said, I really appreciate everybody being here. This was fun to hang out in the afternoon. Let me know if you like the time. We usually go at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Saturdays if we go live. But let me know if you like this time better, if more people were able to join us in the afternoon. This is what worked best for Dan. Because we really wanted to tell that scammer story. But anyway, thanks everybody for joining me. I really appreciate it. Again, Rogues on Wednesday. Hopefully we'll have a special guest if it works out. Otherwise, we'll do our normal thing. And just thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it. It really means the world to me again that you guys hang out with us. And again, none of this would be possible without you guys. So thank you very much. Love you all. I'll see you soon right here in the Batcave. Bye, everybody. Thanks again.